Radiant team pick.
That the second game is going to live up to the expectations of the madness of the first game. However, there's something to said about a track record and needing a warm-up game, and sometimes Team NIGMA afterwards, they just show up without any mercy. We're here joined by Purge, Kyle, and Tigov, and we have the draft ready for you. Do you expect such a mad game like game 1 here for game 2, Purge?
I hope there's another game like that. It was a lot of fun to watch. It was really hard to actually prep the segment because I was like, I just want to watch this game. Yeah. Constant team fights, crazy hype moments. So I hope we get another one.
Remaining.
Definitely a lot of chaos. Felt like I was watching Sing Stack play against Bulldog Stack at certain points in that game. Just a lot of chaos, but ultimately entertainment, which is what we're all here for.
That is true.
Unless you're an NIGMA fan, in which case you'd really like them to go to the major, which means they kind of have to.
They kind of have to win. Oh, they're on the right track. They are one game up here, of course. We have another Shadow Demon first pick. Obviously, it didn't work out as intended, I guess, in first game, but they came very close. Is it first pick material?
I didn't mind it. It did do a little bit of work for them overall, and it's more of like a comfort hero for them.
There's also an interesting mechanic I didn't realize, but when Shadow Demon poison is dissipated or like activated, it kills trees around the area of the target. Did you see that?
I don't know if that's real.
I don't think that's real.
Well, something killed the trees, and it wasn't Midnight Pulse. What else would it have been?
No way.
There's no way Shadow Poison
Shadow
kills
Poison
trees.
does nothing with trees.
Okay, maybe GH must have tethered just as he died.
Yeah.
Most likely.
That's okay. That's what it was then. Okay, fine.
I was like, what patch are you reading?
I was like, oh, you blew my mind. I was like, I didn't know that
Shadow Demon just walking through the map. No trees here. No trees.
No. When it pops.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
like on the hero.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Okay.
When he was dire side by the tier 1.
Yeah, top of the map.
That was, bro, that was like 600 AoE of trees. There's no way you would have seen this some other time in your life.
I haven't seen Shadow Demon like at all though.
Yeah, wow.
Just saying. Okay, so it was Tether. He just died before we really saw the animation.
Question about this combo. Isn't this a little bit of a counter synergy going on?
How so?
Don't you want people to run away when they're ruptured? And Shadow Demon either slows them down with Purge or disrupts them altogether?
You get the disrupt into the blood right though.
Sure.
You purge one, rupture another. That's not two lads.
Okay.
Both BKB piercing.
More importantly, though, Heiko Esports is still on first pick, and this time they changed the ban from a Furion to an IO, because again, they clearly respected the overall aggression and skirmish capabilities that NIGMA did have. I think Heiko, if they were against a lineup that was a little bit slower from NIGMA, that game would have been even closer than it was. So you have to give kind of props to the other side.
Strat. The spirits awaken.
They did a really good job with the IO as well, like just punishing Chessie's split push, because there was a couple times that like NIGMA would invade heavily, be really aggressive, maybe get a pick off, and then Chessie would be like, well, I guess I have to split push, and he'd be pretty darn careful when I watched it back. But like it would scan for him and find him, and the relocate just punished him so many times. So it made the game a lot harder.
I do like the fact that when NIGMA is second pick, they're relying on this kind of Void Spirit to unlock the draft for both Miracle and Weehaw. It's just a simple hero to pick that they can both play on.
Doesn't Earth Spirit do that for you already though?
Not really.
You don't think that? Why not play the Wii Spirit? The Wii Earth Spirit is solid. We've seen was it OG playing on top?
I have flashbacks to the CQ Major. We were playing against Vichy Gaming in game 2 after winning the first game, and we like, give me mid Earth Spirit. We do it with blind confidence. He goes 0-5 against a Timbersaw or something. It wasn't maybe Timber, like it was like that bad. And since that day, I've lost all faith in the Weehaw Earth Spirit mid.
I remember selling Misery on offlane Underlord for Sumail.
5 seconds remaining.
They picked in a couple scrims. Apparently everyone got mad at each other, and Misery was then banned from taking suggestions. Bulba didn't let him talk to me about Dota for the rest of the tournament.
I mean, I don't blame him. Great track record.
Well,
really sell yourself as a pro.
Underlord was really rocking it. It just didn't make sense for that team, you know? And I, of course, wasn't privy to the information because it wasn't in the scrim, so how would I know? But yeah, Morph Ban, I do like it. I don't think that's a hero you should ever give NIGMA in the current iteration. It's just too good to give Miracle because it's like this active playmaker plus hyper carry all in one. And
Radiant team ban.
You gotta ban out the spirits though.
Oh, speak of the devil, Underlord banned.
Yeah.
Very good counter pusher. Actually, most of the NIGMA bans have been counter push heroes to slow the game down.
Is there any Necronomicon hero still in the pool?
Remaining.
Not like an obvious Necronomicon hero builder?
Tusk.
Dazzle.
5 seconds remaining.
Anyone.
Never mind.
Your question simply put, no. The Like of the Beast and Enigma are all out of the game.
I will say Tusk is that
Dire
next
team
gen. You know,
back.
we're discussing Earthshaker as a potential offlaner. It's the same concept, right? We know offlaners plus Necrobook is good. But
Dire
when
team
Enigma,
pick.
Lycan, and Beastmaster are gone, what's left? I really think Tusk is that next
Just
niche.
stuns. Just go for a different strat.
Well, there's still ban out the Prophet, obviously, would still be a risk there. And the Naga is the other ban that Team NIGMA gets.
Radiant team pick.
They also have Bloodseeker for this Void Spirit too. It's a pretty good counter, so I like what Hykos has at the moment.
That's dangerous to pick into Shadow Demon, though. You get purged, Jingu is no longer a factor.
I think the interesting thing from NIGMA is they consistently pick heroes that look bad in like the 1v1 matchups. You know, they pick Void
10
Spirit into Death
seconds
Prophet. They pick
remaining.
Void Spirit into Bloodseeker. They're picking like, Monkey King into Shadow Demon. Like they're
5
picking these like
seconds
one-for-one
remaining.
counters, but the overall team timing does align to be able to kind of mitigate that problem. Because like Monkey King, he can just stand still Wukong. Now your Void Spirit who's ruptured, who would be countered, can stand there and take the fight. The Shadow Demon who's now countering your Monkey King, he's covered by the Earth Spirit and the Void Spirit enabling him in the fight as well. So it's like they are kind of soft covering from these counters.
I feel like you can just say like, oh, they picked 3 stuns. This is great synergy.
Oh,
They can stun the enemies.
how many times have
they
team teams not picked stuns, Kyle?
That is true. It's a good
and what are
point.
they doing? Thank you.
I thought you were a great believer in stunts.
I am.
He is,
I
but now
just-
he's not.
Yeah, I don't know what
He's just
changed.
trying to pick a fight.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's as like strategically deep as you're making this
Well, I
sound.
think the Wukong point very much stands.
Sure,
Thank
I will
you.
agree. This high coast line, but you only see the 2 heroes though.
So
Question: when you disrupt the Monkey King
Yes.
as a Shadow Demon, and the Monkey King has Ags, do these illusions spawn little Monkey King statues?
No,
No.
it'd be way too good. It was,
a good-
it was an
monkeys on monkeys on monkeys.
That would be a
Full
good
zoom.
question.
I mean, PL illusions spawn PL illusions. Who knows?
Now so there you go. Now you want to stand in the Wukong.
Now you can't.
You can't.
You're
you
told
get,
to leave.
You get feared out.
Be gone now, Kyle.
This gives me an idea as well, Sheaves. There would be a really, somebody should make a quiz like once a month, like
Yeah.
true or false multiple choice about mechanics,
Yeah.
and just quiz people.
Yeah, well, that would be
10
great
seconds.
Like,
content
so
for,
many people have
for
already done
example, a DPC league somewhere.
Isn't that just like
5
Mythbusters as well?
seconds
There's, like, you do
remaining.
that?
People do that crap all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of YouTube
Don't
You
want
videos
it.
just,
about that.
you just didn't
Yeah.
look at any of
Dude,
the people
I
creating
tried to
the
make a
content.
Dota. I tried to make a
Or read
Dota
the patch
crossword.
notes. Shadow Demon poison kills trees, by the way, Shiva.
making crosswords is really hard.
I could literally say true or false. Shadow Demon poison.
False.
Kills trees
Guys,
on explosion.
the
Submitted by Kyle.
I hope it's just a mechanic we haven't seen, and that it really does. That if you're, I really hope
There
it
is
does.
no
It doesn't.
way.
The
But if it
shot.
did,
The
There's no
shot.
way.
Wait, maybe Valve can like update the coordinator right now.
Yeah.
Ask them to remake. all
I mean,
pick
we
and
do
then
know
up.
they are prone to updating coordinators in the middle of series,
That
so
would
I
be
would
so
not be
unfair, though.
surprised.
There's the Monkey King in the game. That'd be so unfair if
that's
Shadow
true.
Demon suddenly gets
That's
some new
true.
mechanic.
That's very true.
Oh, dude, that'd be, you hit him with one shadow poison, instantly break it. And
Yeah,
4
just
seconds
one
stunned every
poison.
It
time.
doesn't break the trees. The whole point is if you activated it. So if you had 3 stacks, you're running around the trees, and then it pops.
So you have to have 3
Doesn't matter.
stacks for a tree.
No,
How many, like, is
the
it
number
one
of stacks
tree per
increases
stack?
the radius.
Yeah,
It's
oh,
a
the
radial.
radius.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, but you
okay,
just
okay.
need 1 stack to break the trees standing on directly.
Yeah, yeah.
You
One
shadow
stack's one
poison him
tree.
once and he dies.
Yeah. Oof, what a patch.
Do you see trees that are dying in
Radiant
the
team
fog?
pick.
When you're
would
not,
know. You would have to
destroy,
see.
it
You
would
have to see the
destroy
actual-
trees at by calculated by the formula pi r squared, r meaning being the number of the stacks of poison, and 100
What's
units.
this wannabe ice frog?
What?
Please, look at the draft. We got a
Yeah.
DK from NIGMA.
Solid. There's
10
limited
seconds
damage on high
remaining.
coast right now. You pick a DK. A point stun is really nice to
5
have
seconds
against
remaining.
these supports and Bloodseeker. They have
Where are any of
easy
these scores
escapes.
going?
I mean,
That's the thing.
DK's
You don't know.
DK is probably high.
Are you
Actually,
last?
no,
Hold
might
up.
be
See?
between
Are you
them.
last picking Kuro's hero then?
Yeah, seems so. Well, they could still go for the Void Spirit support. We've seen that in the past.
This is a disgusting Viper
That's
pick. This is yeah.
Good.
That one hurts you. You know,
Yeah.
there's certain heroes that get picked up. It's like, you know, think of the feeling of a last pick brood when you have nothing to deal with spiders. This
10
hurts in a
seconds
similar
remaining.
fashion because both of your cores are now just miserable.
5
Yeah, they want to
seconds
clone Viper
remaining.
and put him in like every single
Dire
lane.
team back.
Pretty much. The
Radiant
Oracle.
Well, that's where,
Team
as long as the
back.
Viper goes for the correct build with the boots of travel, then it'll be very strong.
They don't have good frontliners right now. That's the only
Yeah.
negative to this Viper pick, so
Yeah.
that can cause some issues. But
Yeah, normally with a Viper, you have this melee hero who can set up the fight for you. You kind of have that in an indirect way with the Shadow Demon, who naturally can start or prolong fights with
Dire
disruption,
team back.
and he can also kind of move around the map and set fights up, especially like I said, if Viper goes boots to travel and can start setting a quick pace to the game, it can unlock the game. But it also depends, is Bloodseeker your carry, your offlane? Is Viper your mid, your offlane? Like, Heiko need to decide what they're doing, because the lack of a win condition right now for me does scare me. Because I think in the pure strategic matchup, I don't think they can do the same type of game that NIGMA did in game 1 and still be able to win. I think they'll have shortcomings of closing out a skirmishing type lineup.
I think it's offline Viper based on those 2 bans. Both the spells could deal with the poison attack stacks.
Very true.
The last 2 times that Kuroki played Void Spirit, by the way, it's a 50-50 in terms of performance. One against Liquid, one against Alliance.
Okay. Oh, I already have it.
For sure.
This is the old school. You just put him on Void Spirit. You go back to the old
Put who on Void
5 melee Darkseer lineup.
Oh no.
That's what we're gonna. That's the play.
All right.
For NIGMA.
Buy Ags and you put Ion Shell on all 5 heroes.
Yep.
It's like 500 DPS. How
Oh yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
No, I don't see it.
Dire team pick.
I wish it was the Darkseer pick. Oh, wait.
Heiko's going
It can
full
still happen.
skirmish. Sorry, go on, Purge.
No, that's all. I was just memeing. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. So yeah, Heiko's fully leaning into that skirmish, at winning the lanes and trying to collapse the game, but they rely so heavily on just having this Viper a good game. I think if NIGMA can identify that, shut down this Viper, they suddenly don't have this kind of amazing pick to play around.
The damage output is really wonky. You don't scale nearly as well on the high coast heroes, so you're pretty reliant on having the sick timing before NIGMA have BKBs up, at which case they just kind of giggle. Pangolier ult useless, Viper useless, Bloodseeker has Rupture, and that's about it.
I rate this Darkseer pick a lot from what Kyle said. Just the idea of just standing your ground, taking the fight. Like, you put down the Wukong, you have these auras, and instead they go for a lifestealer. Okay.
All right. Well, okay. Well, it's still, look, 5 melee.
That is true. That is true.
This is the
but no
bread and butter.
Wall. But yeah.
True, but you can run at him. A Weehaw Lifestealer.
That's a position 5
Miracle
Monkey
playing
King.
the Void Spirit this
Kuroki
time.
Monkey King.
All right.
All right.
It isn't bad. Consider that you're playing against Viper now, right? If you have both cores dominated by Viper, you're going to feel really bad. I actually think DK is better as a matchup because you prefer buying BKB earlier, and you at least have this stun. A Viper core, or sorry, Monkey King core just kind of doesn't do anything in the laning phase and then throughout the game.
Earth Spirit Monkey King support duo, they're going to have to be super active. Otherwise, I think the simplicity of Heiko's can bode well.
Purge, I want you to be present for this as well. Can we run the clip, please?
What?
Have a look.
No, let's just get into the game. What do you? Oh my god.
Look, this Shadow Demon Poison.
His tether's ready.
He's tethered. Look at the. You can see it.
That is a tether. That's a clear tether.
That's the tether.
It's the timing of it, though. You can understand why it would be confusing.
Wait, hold on. Wait, can we go play?
That's a release poison animation right there.
Yeah, that's just.
It's
that's
like
that's
it's literally at the same time.
It's a tether.
That's a
It's a tether. It was
the
so
same.
clear.
But you can understand why it would.
It was so clear that it was the tether.
Yeah.
Purge, final thoughts on the draft.
You can see why Kyle was confused, but ultimately he needed to go a little deeper to figure it out. That's all I need to say.
that next level. Yeah, exactly.
Didn't have the tools to go deeper, Purge. I
will
don't
we,
have the replay available.
A yes or no? Will we have a game 3?
I would say probably not. I think I like NIGMA's.
Okay. Thank you, T.
I think if Viper doesn't get shut down, then they have a good chance to win, but their level of execution just doesn't feel up to scratch to NIGMA's, so I think NIGMA will take this, but Heiko should have a better.
I would hope so. I mean, it's 5 melee, guys. Like, this is just such a wild draft, but anything is possible.
A wild draft leading into a wild game. One can only hope, and I'm sure that our commentary team is on the same page of that. Let's head over to Captain.
I feel better already.
You know, I always have a nice intro planned for these things, but I'm like, half listening to the panel, I'm like, what are they talking about, this exploding poison trees thing? And I'm like, that's a weird meme to come up with. And now the wildest thing is that Kyle literally believed that shadow poison blew up trees. What? Back into the game. Let's get straight into this. Five man, run at you. Zibe, he's going to be the victim of a clash on the dire side thing. Miracle's going to feel some kind of first blood. My mind is boggled here. All right.
My mind's not working.
Let me try this introduction again. All right. Welcome, everybody, to NIGMA versus High Coast. This is game 2, where NIGMA are just 1 game away from being the closest possible thing you can be to guaranteed going to the major. They win this series. The only way they're not going to the major is if we get a 4-way, 4-3 tiebreaker for 3 spots. So they would have to be the worst team in that tiebreaker and get the only slot that doesn't go to the major. This is the only way that NIGMA can't go to the major if they win this series right here.
Well, I hope we get some like 4-way tiebreakers, and I'm pretty sure we will, because we tend to have the luck of just, you know, it's like impossible to have, and then we end up having them, and now it's very likely to have. So we're definitely gonna get tiebreakers. And yeah, we'll see how this game works out. It's 5 melee, Cap. It's 5 melee into Pangolier and Willow, you know, and into Viper. These heroes usually are pretty good versus a lot of these melee heroes. I'm curious to see how NIGMA's gonna make this one work. It's a mid Viper as well. They actually moved it up in priority, I feel like, because they saw 3 different break mechanics, like 3 different things that he can break. Lifestealer, Monkey King, Dragon Knight. Looks like it could be a pretty good game for Supreme.
Miracle, I'm not sure if you watched that exchange. He just took so much damage to ensure that the Viper didn't get level 2. Like, he was determined to get at least one of those denies, and he did. But man, that was wild.
Live by the sword. Die.
Yeah, it's tough for you anyway as a Void Spirit. You have to just play under the tower almost exclusively until you can get some like fun trade back with like an Aether Remnant pulling him under tower. But yeah, that was interesting by Miracle.
Also interesting that Charlie refusing to let the creep wave go into the tower here, drags it along, and gets a little bit low as a result. Wild stuff going on to this game, and it all started in the draft, right? Where they picked up a Monkey King, found it mega countered, and decided, okay, we're gonna make this a 5 position.
Yeah, hey, we always see, especially with like these very experienced teams, the way of just never letting the enemy know where your roles are actually going to be, right? They just completely switched it up. You had no idea until like the 3rd or 4th pick, and even then, it could have just been swapped. So, clever stuff from NIGMA, and yeah, we'll see how these lanes end up going. I see Jibe stop the pull bottom from GH, so this should be a pretty free lane for Charlie. He shouldn't get pressured too much. I think Mind Control should also just free farm down here, but should be a good lane for at least one Seeker.
Yeah, I think that's something that we didn't explicitly bring up, but it seems like Heikos really liked this idea, the Shadow Demon being able to suppress the pull behind the tower thanks to Disruption, and allowing you to be able to take more strict 2-on-2s. Like, no pulling shenanigans here. You're actually going to have to take this man fight. You're going to have to take this 2v2, which we plan on.
Yeah, it definitely is really interesting. I've been seeing... I saw like another one. I think I saw like a 5-position gyro kind of do the same, where it's if you pull the wave, he's just gonna run you down with barrage. There's like all these like clever kind of 5s, but this one they love it. I mean, Jibe is a big fan of this hero. He's played it a lot in their series. It's definitely working well for Brown Bottom. We see 9 last hits. Actually, DK is farming better. Mid, definitely that big win. Supreme is really bringing it to Miracle.
Certainly is. It's going to be the second time that the Void Spirit suffers on the side of NIGMA, but this time around it's Miracle playing it, which is something that we talked about last year's from NIGMA, was their choice to move Weehaw into the side lane to try and give him a better laning phase and therefore more of a confidence going into the rest of the game.
Yeah, bit interesting to it's been interesting to see that they forced all this to happen, right? Like, because this Viper was picked, I guess they just didn't know how to salvage the lanes in any way. This was their best solution. Even though Void Spirit's gonna lose the lane, he'll be able to catch up through rotations and whatnot. But yeah, it's a really interesting draft from NIGMA. I'm just like really curious to see how it's all gonna come together, if it will at all. Because I really feel like Heikos, they have really good measures and really good counters versus it. Like, I love Pango this game. Until the fact that NIGMA does get BKBs, it looks super strong from Heikos.
Damn, Supreme. Yet another deny here. Pressures Miracle. Ooh, 9 steps to Aether Remnant as the TP was coming in from GH. Miracle is taking a lot of damage. Curl's going to walk over as well, but all because the Aether Remnant missed. They can no longer really attempt to go for that as the 4-minute runes are going to spawn. It's Zibe who picks up the inbit.
Loving to see all those rotations coming out from the sports. 4 minutes. These cores are all pretty self-sufficient, so they'll be just fine. I'm always happy when I see Pangos being able to get this type of start. That always like proves to me that it's going to be like a pretty decent Pango game, because the laning phase usually is that thing that you do get pressured a lot. I say that, Chessie actually walks under the tower for a second. Could be at risk of dying here.
He finally is going to make the jump away, but Curl's waiting for that to be able to get the pounce. Weehan's going to stick on top of him, and Jesse, he's dead. There's no way out of this one. He can't TP because Curl has the stun available, so he just gets run down. He's got to be careful when you're in a very long lane. That's the only kill threat that Lifestealer has, is running you down for an extremely long time.
And you know, when the caster starts to talk about how decent of a lane you're having, you just die immediately right after he says it. So, sorry, Jesse. That's Kuro. We'll be able to secure a bounty rune. All bounty runes secured from Nigma.
Get the brambles here with Jesse coming into play. They will at least punish Curl for taking away their bounty.
Nicely done from Era. I like the skill build. I like the 1-1-1 build on the Willows. I think we're seeing that a lot more frequent now. Always easy to set up your brambles if you don't have the Pango at the side, if you don't have a stun set up in your lane, you'll do so. Gets a connection on Jibe.
In some big time trouble here. He's going to get the disruption, be able to buy himself a little bit of time. Let's see if he can get away from mind control. He cannot. He's going to die. GH is going to go for the TP out, which is successful. Mind control, he's the one having the most success outside of the Viper here. His lane is going very mid against Bloodseeker, but mid lane, they're going for a dive here. Didn't quite expect Kuro to be showing up. Supreme is going to throw down the Nether Toxin, clear through this wave, because ultimately, killing Miracle may not be the best objective here. Just pushing him out of the lane does a lot when a Siege Wagon is about ready to hit the tower.
Yeah, NIGMA actually has to respond with all three heroes. Like, Kuroki's even coming. Now GH is setting up in case something happens. High Coast, they're bringing 3 as well. Miracle's still level 5. So he has to play a little cautious there with no Astral Step. And there's the two side lanes of NIGMA, as we said, very self-sufficient. Same thing for High Coast, so that's why we're seeing this big focus on the mid lane this game at that 6 minutes.
Dragonite lane, man, I did not expect him to be able to pressure the Bloodseeker the way he's doing it, but he actually just kicked Charlie out of lane.
I really did not expect that either. And I look at this tower, like he's gotten it down to half HP already. And Charlie can't actually step up. This hard stun, it is one of the things that Bloodseeker hates to play against in the early games. It's just, I mean, even later stages too, is just point click stuns, 2.5 seconds. Not fun.
They're gonna go for a kill.
They have to bring the Viper. Yeah.
They can get the Rupture and then ensure Arrow's close enough for the disable. Mind Control will certainly die, but maybe they can still catch him with this haste rune. They lay down the ward to be able to get vision of him, but Mind Control is already juked away into the trees.
Really smart stuff from NIGMA. Just reading the map perfectly, just knowing that Viper was going to make that rotation. They chill, defend their tower. Now they can split up the supports and look to pressure the side lanes a bit. Jesse has hit 6 now off of this. But he has been slowed down a decent bit from his death. He was having a very good start. Now it has been stopped a bit, and they are swinging toward him. Jesse, be careful with his next swashbuckle.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot.
It is.
I'm not.
They don't have GH with silence either.
Yeah, they were talking about how like all of these heroes, their first 3 heroes, all had a disable, but none of them last very long.
That was an interesting interaction. He boulder smash kicks the Pango, but the Pango swashbuckle supersedes it.
Yeah.
So he instantly buckles out of it. That's cool.
8-minute power room coming up. Miracle begging, pleading that it's going to be bottom lane, and it is.
And he gets it.
They want bottom lane, Zibe. Trying to get a little bit aggressive because they have the TP rotation coming in from the Viper. He needs some help. Somebody's got to help him out. He's going to throw out the disruption. Now they're going to lead off with a Rupture from Charlie. The Viper's going to be here soon, but the fighter's already been made into 2 versus 3. Supports are going to be traded out. Ultimately, this is Supreme rotating for a kill that was not his priority. He really wants that Dragonite dead, but he's just not quite catching it.
And Mind Control's playing this offlane really nicely. And they're doing a good job with the supports of just moving around as a duo. I see Kuroki and GH making the moves. You know, they lose GH, it's fine. You know, just wanted to back up that DK, not lose the bigger heroes. But High Coast, they're persisting. They have this lane ward.
And Era is going to be able to get the disable on Mind Control. They may not have expected Supreme to still be in the neighborhood as they're finally going to catch up to him. And surely, Mind Control, he's going to die here. He tries to go for a TP out. That is in vain. The damage comes a little bit too fast for him.
Supreme being very persistent, and he is going to be going for that box build, so looking to be able to match the mobility that's going to be coming out from a lot of these NIGMA heroes. It's something I guess I didn't talk about too much is Void Spirit, Monkey King, Earth Spirit. We're going to see a lot of mobility coming from them to match and just follow where Mind Control is moving. So Supreme with these bots will at least be able to match those movements, and he's going to have it at a really solid time because of that mid lane. Top net worth on Viper, always a good sign.
Yeah, absolutely. man.
And let's see what Chesty looks to do. Yes, he did use Rolling Thunder before, but didn't look to. I think it was just a Rolling Thunder to survive.
Yeah, looks like it. He's got it coming up with this this TP out. Run back to base, and then you time your TP. So you could just kind of like look at the map, kind of feel out where you think you could go. Now the play would definitely be going bottom. It's like it's NIGMA setting up right
Vanished,
now.
but not gone.
I thought Chesty was absolutely going to set up bottom. Like, Rolling Thunder versus DK ult is one of the better solutions I've seen from a lot of different teams, but he TP's bottom, so this bottom tower, like, this is just dead now from High Coast. Charlie, he has to just book it. I don't want to see him stick around here.
Why is Charlie here?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, tree. They're gonna mash TP in. Maybe they can actually fight this, even if they don't have the Pango. The jump in, they're gonna pop out, immediately try first down Supreme, and they do manage to get him with the Wukong's man, creating some serious havoc. Charlie's blocked out. Kuro positioned himself. Unfortunately, there was a hole that Charlie was able to get himself through. A kick, GH, long range, get it hit off. Oh, God. Makes it all the way. Rolls him down. What a long range kick from GH. Zibe. Is he gonna die as well? They do have the stun follow-up here from Monkey King. Zibe gets off his ultimate. Brambles. Miracle is able to jump himself away. Another roll-in is able to finish him off. They're running out of damage here as sadly the ultimate is down now from Era. But he's out of mana. Doesn't have Shadow Realm. Oh, he's got his first ground. That won't protect him any soon. High Coast. I mean, Bugs, man.
And now mind control too. Like, he probably will die here. They're gonna focus everything on him, but that's a kill that's. It's just I mean, if they even get him, are they gonna be able to finish him?
He does kick out. But now Supreme. Fairy Fire. The boy Redneck catches him, pulls him back.
Is under attack.
I gotta be honest, Cap. I am so honest. I'm so surprised Chesty TP top when they've just been pushing bottom, and his team obviously wanted to make the executive call to defend bottom. The Pango and Viper are the two strongest heroes on the map at the moment when they do have like their ults like this, and they just don't send the Pango, who's the tower defender, you know, that offlaner. It tends to always be those offlaners to set up for those big tower defenses. And they just send him top. I feel like that was a huge blunder.
Oh, what a kick from GH. That was definitely a moment for a goal.
I wanted to scream it, but sometimes my microphone sucks and I don't want to blow up people's ears.
All right, well, some items are going to be dropped here. They did get the mask. We were talking about how good it is for Tidehunter in the last series being purged. And Pango's another one of those heroes. Exceptionally good with a free lifesteal item.
That item feels like it's a little bit too effective on certain heroes, but I like it. I like seeing like these new, very specific neutral items, it seems like at the tier 1. It's like, it's so perfect for certain carries and so perfect for certain like spellcasters, like we see Fairy Trinket. I like that we've gotten a little bit of change up with it, rather than just like a mango tree.
Well, you say certain spellcaster, but it's in like literally every hero that has a spell. Yeah. God, Fairy Trinket's so good.
I love like every aspect of it, really. It's just like I'm playing Shadow Shaman, I'm just like, ooh, 5% mana cost reduction. Like, ooh.
Yeah, why does it give 100 health?
That too. It gives a lot, yeah. Charlie shows his face up top. They put a ward down, and he TP'd up here.
They got to protect Charlie's game somehow, because he is being hunted by NIGMA. He is public enemy #1, it seems like. Because he's going to break the smoke as he runs into them. Gets off the blood right, but he's certainly dead, as we're going to... Back into the mid lane, where we're going to watch Dragon Knight actually get Rolling Thunder killed there. So they
immediately TPs to defend the tower. They don't want to lose it, even though they did lose their Dragon Knight, and they swing back over with everybody. And they kill the most important hero, right? Bloodseeker's dead. His game has just been significantly stopped twice.
Yeah, now they've got vision in the triangle, so they're going to make sure that... Did you know you could, I think, hop down from the tree? He actually capped.
I did not know you could do that. No, that was nice.
But yeah, and now they've got vision inside of the triangle, thanks to the fact they got a monkey kick. So, if Bloodseeker feels like, when you're under pressure like this, every carry is like, fine, I'll just go farm the triangle. But he may not find that it's very safe at all.
It's not versus mobility carries. Like heroes that can just get in and get out, like Earth Spirit, Monkey King, even Void Spirit, they're very good when they have vision like this of the triangle, because it's just easy for them to successfully do that. Get in and get out. As GH, you're gonna get someone killed here.
Jujuki, that last bit of damage, though, still comes in from Era. That's a killing spree. As Mind Control will get up to the high ground. He's safe.
Chessie.
Yes, he runs into Void Remnant. Miracle had a little bit of trap, but they don't really have the damage. As a Monkey King doesn't really provide a whole lot.
Now Miracle, he's got an Astral.
Throw the Terrorize out, that misses, and Chessie rolls the wrong direction. Miracle, what a hiding spot he got himself into with that Astral Step. That was a very pretty little play there for Miracle. As Weehaw is now potentially going to be run down here, looking to be able to get the Infest. Inside the Centaur he goes, stuns up the Shadow Demon, allowing GA to get the follow-up to stable here. Well played by Weehaw.
Dire structures are fortified.
They've effectively juked out like all of the ults now with high cost inside structure. Now Era also caught in a bad spot. Beautiful reset by NIGMA. Aggressive play from high cost, not paying off this time.
TPs to the other side of the map, picks up the bounty runes, which will mean Mind Control is going to have his Blink Dagger very soon. All of a sudden, he can really start fighting. They're going to jump on Viper here with GH rolling across the scene here, picks him back into Miracle, will pull him a little bit deeper. He is stuck in a quagmire here. Is now Monkey King, maybe stuck a little bit of a swamp himself, trying to get out with TP. Zibe trying to get close enough, he couldn't get there for the disruption. Level 1 disruption. Miracle stuck here with a rupture on him, but Era gonna shadow up. Blood right is out. Miracle's gotta make sure not to be in that silence. Thunder being sprint here from Chessie. Got the rage. Third going out. He's gonna rage, TP out, so they're not gonna go for him. They're gonna go for the DK instead, who find himself overwhelmed by the high coast response.
Cost them quite a bit. NIGMA, I think they might look to fight back very soon afterwards, as it was pretty much all their ults used there in that situation. And Miracle, he's very fight ready. DD rune plus the Orchid. Definitely gonna look to smoke. And a Spirit Vessel even on GH. I can't believe how actually farmed the two supports on NIGMA are. As a very awkward support duo of the Monkey King or Spirit that we don't see very often together. Yeah, the Spirit Vessel this early on is gonna be really impactful. It's an extra little bit of damage and just preventing any heals.
Both teams put a lot of emphasis on aggressive wards. Now, this mid-aggressive ward should have spotted the smoke. Charlie will back up at the perfect time. Danny Orman doesn't back up far enough away. The Orchid plus double damage. That'll make short work of him. At this point, they have to know that ward on the high ground now.
Yeah, I feel like they did see that smoke though, right? With the wards that they had, but maybe he just was... Yeah, he looked like he played defensive, but not defensive enough. And now NIGMA, they're setting up again. They see 2 or 3 heroes top, and they have the Orchid.
Terrorize immediately as a response to disruption, but try and buy a little bit of time here. The TP in from Supreme is going to be guarded by the Glyph. The Viper's here, but the rank up. They are sandwiching, and they managed to get a beautiful silence out from GH. 3-man silence with the ultimate on all of them. Chessie, he's going to have to bail this out with a Rolling Thunder for the Dream as he rolls on through everybody. Supreme's hoping to be able to get the kill on a GH before he dies. GH rolling off the map. He does not live through the multitude of poison that comes in from the Shadow Poison, as well as the Viper. He will die, but a fight that was well worth it for Nick.
Beautiful setup. GH gives his life for the team, gets a 4-man magnetized spread into silence, and that's without mind control there. They just keep causing all this chaos and havoc, and it doesn't seem like High Coast is expecting these moves to come out. They bring the Viper up there, and another death for Supreme. 4 deaths now on this Viper. A hero that, we always talk about when you start getting to this point of death, your effectiveness really starts to crumble super quick. They start to get the itemization to deal with you, and you just start getting burst before you actually get to get that frequency of spells out.
All right, they find
now for High Coast.
Wait. Okay, he's afraid of dying. Okay, he knows the ward is there. It's just one of those like, oh, they're probably gonna protect the ward, which he's right. Miracle was coming up. So.
Yeah, Miracle saw him place the sentries. Now he's just standing on top of it. And he's got Arcane Rune and the Orchid and level 12. So if any of these supports do walk up, they're quite dead. And they've got backup now. NIGMA bringing 3, bringing 4. High Coast looking to maybe hit onto mind control, but he's got the blink.
Chessie, he's gonna TP in. They gotta make sure they bring. Oh God, he's.
Chessie, don't walk up.
Seriously, man. Zibe wasn't willing to deward that. Zibe was willing to try and throw another sentry down, and Chessie tried to follow up that initiation with a Blink Rolling Thunder. Does hit some of the heroes, but nobody from High Coast is really nearby as they've lost Zibe. Supreme going to be covered by the Blood right here, but GH is rolling in. Kuro's scouting him out. They might just be able to find more. It's going to be Chessie. He rolled back into that vision, and Charlie hooked away. Now the initiation, the Dragon Tail terrorized, beautiful, but there's still a two-man follow-up. But they're getting ripped apart by this Dark Will. Just did so much damage. Damn.
Wow, I think that was the Bedlam plus Soul Catcher catching with 3 heroes. It is a level 4 Soul Catcher, so yeah, that looks like with the big chunk. I was like, what the hell chunked him so quick? But it was then a beautiful save. He gets the disruption onto the Bloodseeker as they make the initiation. High Coast hitting back, but Miracle, he's still looking to make another play. Bots and an infested Lifestealer inside. 485 movement speed while he's infested. Not going to be able to swing for anything. Will find himself another rune. I think Miracle's got a majority of the power runes this game, I want to say.
Yeah, there it is. Soul Catcher adds Supreme's damage on top of the Bedlam. Miracle working his way around. He wants to be able to get into the triangle again with this Invis rune. He will be spotted immediately. Disruption's going to go down. Supreme's going to be caught by Weehaw, though. They're trying to get away, but at the same time, Weehaw's already been rolled through. Supreme will die, but Weehaw, he's got his way out of this one, and he knows it too. He puts what damage he can, but ultimately, Miracle has led him into a trap.
Icos was very well prepared for this one. Now, swing top. You have 40 seconds to make something happen. Try to get another killer. Try to at least get some tower pressure going. Since you only do have that one tower, they have good, deep, aggressive wards too. So they see that NIGMA is starting to set up on this. Let's see if they catch Kuroki. Chessie has his Calling Blade up in 1 second.
Oh, he broke it. Nice. Well played, well played.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It just came up, so he just swapped it in for the bottle from his backpack and had like 1 second. And they will get the tower off that too, so these aggressive wards pay off because they do see the movements coming in. And NIGMA gets halted. They get slowed down quite significantly. A 3k swing and a 3k experience swing as well. It's actually more than that, 4k experience swing.
I think this is so important for High Coast because nothing feels worse than getting aggressive wards, but then finding that they're useless because the enemy team is playing on your side of the map all the time.
Yeah. And now look, they're even setting up for more with that aggressive ward. So they're looking for another opportunity, maybe trying to catch Miracle. He looks pretty safe though. He's got the double Astral. He will be able to back away. And Mind Control quietly farming, during all of this action. He went bottom. He's just been chilling. He's almost got his BKB. So like Panel said, a big timing for NIGMA will be once they do have BKB, especially on the Dragon Knight. Because then he just doesn't have to care at all about a Pango. The break mechanic also is mostly addressed. It's also going to be Miracle going for 1 too, so you can see how important those BKBs are versus that Pango team fight and the Willow too.
Yeah, it kind of shows why Chessie put so much preference into finding that initiative. When dagger pickup, he's saying like, I need those instant disable.
Especially he just needs to be that control factor for Miracle, because like looking at the draft, there's not really that much. It's the Willow spells, but most of the time Void Spirits can play around them, with the Assimilate and whatnot. So it really is up to Chessie to get good bounces back and forth with the Rolling Thunder to take Miracle out of the fight.
At what point do we start getting really scared for High Coast? Like, at what point is their peak of a lineup and like, okay, you have to win?
I think it's getting pretty soon, honestly. Like Charlie's got his BKB and Viper has his BKB. Viper's effectiveness is gonna soon just disappear once the BKBs on NIGMA come out. So I want to see them really accelerate right now on the side of High Coast. Because if they start running into BKBs, it's just DK is gonna be able to just get these dream initiations for the side of NIGMA every time.
Well, they can't afford to just keep hanging around their triangle for much longer. I don't think NIGMA is too upset with just chilling back and farming. They've got Assange now onto the Lifestealer.
They're smoking up right now, High Coast. They lost their vision, though, at the moment inside the enemy jungle. So right now, it's really just a defensive ward. They don't have too much information where NIGMA is.
Radiant are scanning.
Zipa is going to scan. He's going to put a ward down. It's going to get broken, though. Weehaw does instantly break that, so it's fortunate for High Coast.
Terrorize outside of vision for the Rage goes off first. Weehaw read that one well. Rage is now out, though, and Chessie could potentially chase him down here. The Rolling Thunder is going to hit him, and Miracle is still at the infest. They're going to try and go for the silence off of this one. The rest of the team isn't really following through. Now they're going to go for the disruptor. Charlie, he's going to be kill with a BKB, but there it is. trees. He does manage to get the Infist. Kuro bails him out, and that's going to be a rupture wasted. High Coast, this fight was never going to be theirs, as they're going to try and cover their tracks with the Blood Right era. Looking to be able to get away. The old scepter on himself into the Shadow Realm, but jump forward here from Kuro, looking to be able to catch some more heroes as the Astral Step to finish off era. They will find the extra +1. That's going to be Zibe.
They tried so hard. They tried so hard to get the ward down to at least get like information of the fight. It gets broken though. It's literally the best possible thing for NIGMA to have happen is Weehaw walking into them there, and then they just overplayed their hand. They had to walk out. Their BKBs got used. Long Thunder and BKBs are down. NIGMA just starts chasing right back in and always looking for those bailouts. You know, these infests. Weehaw is very tanky, so if he gets gone on, he's gonna get those opportunities. That was High Coast's big fight. They have to win that one.
Like, I think they just needed to go with some gusto, you know? I don't like the fact they're hesitating, as now they're going to find themselves the one initiated on. The Rolling Thunder's not going to get off in time. He got silenced by GH. Now, he can potentially die without getting it up at all. As Charlie will manage to get that one kill. In fact, they're getting out bit by bit. Terrorized, man. They're actually going to be able to run down. Yes, they can. The Rolling Thunder does come into play now. Knocks Kuro off his perch on the tree. Oh, no. NIGMA. They thought this was a point to be able to push their advantage, but it's turned into an utter disaster as Charlie. He finally hits his swing as a Bloodseeker. He feels large. He feels in charge.
Just.
Okay. He literally just gets to stand his ground and just beat on everyone. His BKB came back up, and Weehaw, he was still kind of low. He wasn't actually full up. Great fight by High Coast. And immediately, right after a fight, the NIGMA just dominates. So you were saying you wanted some gusto from them. They get it there on the high ground.
Certainly do, and now they can, with
Radiant's
that
bottom
Aegis,
tower is under attack.
see if they can keep this momentum going. Chessie, great Rolling Thunder by him and that entire team fight.
Beautiful place to fight too, right? With the Willow sitting in the back lines, able to get the fears off, and always in these little clustered areas. That's where you see the Willow and Pango are able to thrive. NIGMA maybe has to be a little bit more careful when they do have, you know, BKBs going down, their Dragon form ending. Maybe just got a little too overzealous, and it hurts. You know, High Coast, now they've got an Aegis, they've got a Basher on Charlie too, so game a lot harder for Weehaw. Now, he can't actually man fight versus the Bloodseeker nearly as often, nearly as well versus that Basher. Very close game again coming out.
Ward on the high ground. But I don't believe they know about its existence. They may see it. They may like read it now. They need to Shadow Poison run up that high ground. Back up and smoke. Move a long way around into the triangle. GH's got to be a little bit careful though. If they go all the way around, there's a chance that Kuro, Kuro's in position to be able to break this. But need to catch Weehaw first, terrorize it, pump and fakes, doesn't actually go down instead. They use the Purge first, they jump in, Miracle, a big hit with GH coming in from behind the back line, immediately melts from High Coast as Charlie. He's got to do this pretty much all on his own with the BKB activated, but nobody from NIGMA is really that low. They're going to turn around, manage to get Weehaw a little bit low here, but he's able to just invest and heal back up almost immediately. Chessie will manage to bring out Kuro, but he's got to help. As now, they do manage to have Zibe come in with a disruption. With the Orchid is a little bit too much with no BKB. The amplified damage is going to be able to burst down this Bloodseeker. The cores are gone, and High Coast, they're on the run. Zibe, he's going to find himself a dieback here. Unless he can juke for his life, he cannot.
What a way to start the fight. Again, you know, vision being so important inside of these. Kuroki gets a 4-man boundless strike to kick it all off, and then they just get the follow-up. And both supports, like you said, deleted before anything even kicks off, and they just have to run frantically. We see Charlie and Supreme running away. Chessie goes for the backline, but the fight's already over when those two supports just insta-die. That was, yeah, really nice setup, Kuro. Very rare you get to see, like, just boundless strike being so effective, especially as, like, a support Monkey King, which we don't see ever, but huge strike.
Again and again and again, they are having issues with finding the initiation on this Lifestealer because they don't have that instant disable.
Look at that.
Oh, man.
That was pretty. And yeah, they don't. They have the good ways to at least address like versus Rage, right? That we see. That's why we see like the Rupture being thrown out, the Demonic Purge from the low ground, but they're on the low ground versus a high ground ward, and it's just, yeah, NIGMA just gets the most perfect possible way to start a fight. Everything just immediately hitting at the same time, right? Like the supports literally just insta-died to that burst. Couldn't ask for better from NIGMA there around that setup.
Well, NIGMA, they have reclaimed their advantage. Weeha's gonna, or sorry, Miracle. Keep getting Miracle's playing the Void. A short timeout here.
Yep. And now he has BKB, so his game is a lot easier. He's been a little bit tripped up by the Pangolier and some of the Willow spells a few times in this game. Now it's going to be much easier for him. GH also somehow super rich on this Earth Spirit this game. He's getting close to his BKB too, so fights just starting to look a lot harder for High Coast whenever those BKBs are at the ready, whenever NIGMA has their Dragon form up and good to go. And especially if they look like if they go for those type of setups, it can't be on the low ground. Even if you have the vision of the fight, that was a pretty horrible position for High Coast to have been set up.
Yeah, this is feeling like at this point, High Coast need one of the Dream initiation. They got to get the Rolling Thunder instant stun into the Terrorize. Because if people get off these BKBs, I don't think there's much hope for them to win the fight. I don't think they can stall it out long enough.
No, I don't think so either. They really do have to get the initiation. The jump is going to be everything. And they do have a lot of different forms of it, right? They can, like you said, they can do it with the Pango. They can also, if they get a Rupture off and they get a Fear, then they have the Rupture where the guy can't control himself and he's running and burning. So there's a lot of different ways they can approach it. They just, have to be careful of that positioning. And I can't believe NIGMA is making the 5 melee actually work right now.
Yeah, they certainly are. Viper's time. It's running out.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
As Weehaw now able to chunk down this bottom tower, and it's right before 30 minutes, so they're going to be able to deny the outpost away from High Coast, force their hand to maybe swing down here and maybe try to take it away, but that's going to be a hard one. As NIGMA, they're going to have time to get everything back up after that whole fight does kick off. And High Coast, yeah, they got hit really hard there. The Bloodseeker dead for such a long time, Charlie.
Dire's top tower
Tier
is
3
under
items
attack.
around here as 19
Radiant's
to 28.
middle tower is under attack.
3,000 net worth lead, NIGMA, but that isn't that large of a net worth lead. The problem is that High Coast, their timing, it was all supposed to be about 5 minutes ago, and now it's NIGMA who are control, damn near say the rest of the game, Bogged, I think.
I think so too. Yeah, I really feel like it too. Also, like, my control's level 18, so it's like he's got level 3 Dragon form too, so it makes it harder for your Bloodseekers, harder for your Vipers. You're just constantly getting slowed attacked. Even took the Fireball. Just want to point that out. We don't see it too often, but he did go for it this game.
Oh, okay. So good way.
A lot of mixed feeling.
Low commitment, pushing waves, right? That's kind of the advantage. Drop it, the creep wave to die.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird because it's one of those weird shards that it only works in your Dragon form, so it's just like you only get the ability every so often. I don't know, I'm still really mixed feelings about this one because it is a lot of damage if they sit in it, but
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
like a Dragon Knight, but he is not the carry. He has the off-lane DK, so why not?
Precious bounty.
As Chessie very boldly walks into the enemy jungle. Oh my goodness.
Manages to blink himself right away, but Supreme is going to be hunted by GH. He's going to be silent. Gets the kick out, misses the roll. There's the initiation from Kuros. Could be a little off the mark, though. Rolling Thunder is going to look to be able to chase him down. He does have the life stealer inside, but they managed to get the stun on Supreme before his he goes off. Now he's just going to be run down with the actual step. Charlie is not going to be here much longer, and neither is the rest of High Coast. It looks like his era is probably going to be taken out. You'll set him up. Yeah, Chessie's the only one to make it out alive.
And the game has really crumbled in such fast moments. They can't even kill the support heroes when they get a decent initiation off, as Weehaw just eats poor Charlie alive with the Dragon Knight hitting him as well.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Bloodseeker, he can no longer go toe-to-toe with the Lifestealer, and there's not a good way for High Coast to put damage on NIGMA easily. Like,
Radiant's
actually get
middle
people
tower
low so
has
the
fallen.
burst starts building up. There's
Radiant's
just,
middle barracks are under attack.
you could see from that last team fight,
Radiant's
NIGMA, they
middle
can split
barracks
up quite a
has
bit and
fallen.
still feel really safe.
Yeah, High Coast,
Radiant's bottom
the
tower
timing is just
under
gone
attack.
for them, really is. Enigma now with their 5-man melee, easily able to beat on this tower with all this nice minus armor. Kuroki gonna set up the Wukongs for the push.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Rolling around, he's gonna try to Wukong. The rage is gonna run out soon. soon. He's going to invest inside of Pearl. They have to make sure he doesn't lick it out, but he does. And now Charlie's just kind of like diving forward, but I'm not scared if they can fight outside of their base.
He could just get chain stunned and killed. They have so many different instances of stun on NIGMA, so yeah, he has to be cautious. KuroKy, crazy how he gets infested and he has 2,700 HP on a 5-position Monkey King. But super tanky, we've seen it a few times now save his life as NIGMA no slowing down. Arcane Rune on Miracle. Playing around this ward vision again.
That's a classic. The 5 position goes toward the triangle. The vision's already there, so NIGMA just kill him as he approaches.
It's one of the games I've seen NIGMA actually play better around their vision than usual. I've seen them struggle a little bit recently compared to usual around just the warding game. This game has been excellent, just really playing around the vision and just like forcing the fights around the vision too. The way I've seen Miracle just standing on top of wards sometimes is supreme. He's in no man's land.
Yeah, he certainly is, and Curl will just play the back line to make sure that Supreme cannot TP away. He's going to be forced to BKB. Chessie's going to cover his path as he Rolling Thunders on through. Mind control. Wait to see if he can maybe get the initiation. What does that courier have?
Radiant's courier.
Well, it's not going to be alive. It's got nothing in it.
The quiver hit from the distance. I love it. As now the 5-position KuroKy has a defusal as well. That will be problematic for a lot of high coast heroes as Era.
Under PH, as a result, is going to roll up into the high ground. He does have a BKB, so that'll be simple for him.
Ditto rich now.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
They are insanely rich. Now the Wukong Smite actually really means something.
Yep.
With that diffusal blade on a Port Monkey Lifestealer, nobody can really fight him.
That is, I mean, that is really crazy now that it's like, if they don't have BKBs active, you can't really walk into Wukong's. It's gonna own you. And Weehaw, a full AC finished up now too. Their physical damage is just insane now at this point. As I go, they got it for Miracle.
Blink in once, but they don't have the follow-up as Chessie wasn't able to get the successful roll back fast enough. He's gonna BKB TP out. He'll be good.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They do get out onto the map, but not for long. NIGMA, they're not afraid of taking a team fight 4 versus 5. They don't necessarily need Miracle. They're going to be able to run down Curl. Looking to be able to chase down Charlie. His BKB's going to run out soon. GH. He doesn't quite get him as the BKB fails, but the Lifestealer catches up to him. Charlie being chased. They got to somehow get something between Charlie and his Lifestealer, but nobody can get away. It's Chessie. He's going to be batted around like a cat with a ball.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
NIGMA effectively has 5 cores now at this point with the way they've played this game these last few moments. The last, like, what, 4 team fights, it feels like it's just been no hope for High Coast. That last 27-minute fight where they tried to get Weehaw. After they get the successful fight afterwards, everything really crumbled so quick.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is falling.
An attempt, but range already going down. Miracle is in pretty easy here, but Rolling Thunder isn't anywhere close. He's going to pop his BKB. They're going to take out the support pretty easily, even pulling the Viper outside of his fountain here. Chessie did do a lot of work with that Rolling Thunder. They're trying to stimulate back. Mike Control sits on the front lines of the BKB, knowing that his tank is enough to be able to stand up to all this damage. His poor old Era tries to get into the back line with his Dark Will. It doesn't last for long, and Chessie, he'll be cleaned up last. Charlie sitting there in the fountain waiting for the Wukongs to wear out so he can try and chase down some of these heroes, and they do get Turo thanks to the vision there. Tier 4s are out though. They just do not have anything to stop Weehaw with this Desolator Armless tearing through the throne. He turns back and then he realizes, let's just hit the buildings, maybe hit Charlie. I'll make up my mind eventually here as High Coast. We will lose the series here to NIGMA. They put up a good fight for Game 1, but Game 2 just proved that NIGMA was certainly the better team. And I feel like this is an analogy for their performance here at the DPC as a whole. That High Coast, they proved that they had what it takes to be able to push certain games and push certain teams, but